Welcome to Academic Gain Tutorials. In this video we'll be looking for Microsoft Excel basics in the Excel screen itself. Here, we have the Excel screen. When you open it for the first time, a blank workbook opens. Now in this blank workbook, if you see carefully, there are various things available on the screen. Let me try to explain to you what those things are. We are using Microsoft Excel 2016 version. If you see at the very top, here we have a quick access toolbar, so that's the only toolbar in newer versions of Microsoft Excel. In the older versions there were multiple toolbars available. Now, just below that quick access toolbar, Q8, you have something called tabs, insert, page layout, formulas, data. These are known as tabs. Earlier these tabs were known as menu bars. So, here we have tabs available. Inside every tab there are different options available. If you see properly, these options are nothing but available in the place known as ribbon. So if we double click on this place on the tab, the ribbon gets hidden. If we double click on that tab, the ribbon comes back. Another option, if we see on the right hand side, there is a small button. If we click on this, the ribbon gets hidden away. If we want to bring it back, we have to just double click on the tab. So every tab has its own different ribbon, which have different options available. If we come down a little bit, this is nothing but a name box. This name box gives us the location of the cell where our cursor is now. So the cursor is in the cell number C4. Here the name box gives you the location to this place, and it can be also used for name ranges, which we'll be seeing in the next video itself. Next, here we have this box. It is known as the formula bar. The formula bar is the place where we can see exactly what formula is written in a selected cell. When we write a formula in the cell, we get the answers. But if we want to see exactly what formula is written in that cell, then we click on the cell and here we can see the entire formula written in the formula bar. Now, if we want to expand the formula bar, we can just click on this button here. This will expand the formula bar. And if we want to minimize the formula bar, we can again click on this to collapse the formula bar. So, this is a formula bar, and it is known as a name box. Other than that, if we see here, we have the letters written as A, B, C, D, E, F, G and so on. These are the column headings. So, here we have the columns, and these are all the column headings. If we click on any one column heading, the entire column gets selected. Now, on the left hand side, if we see here, we have the numbers written as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and so on. These are the row headings. So, if we click on any one row heading, that entire row gets selected. If we click on 5, the entire row number 5 gets selected. Similarly, if we click on 10, the entire row number 10 gets selected. Next, if we come down at the left bottom, here we can see that these are the number of sheets which are available in this workbook. Here we have sheet 1, then sheet 2, sheet 3 and so on. All these are different sheets which are available in this workbook, and if we click on this plus sign, it keeps on adding new sheets. Now again, if you want to see the names all the sheets of this workbook at one place, we can also do that in one click. If we see carefully, there is a small right arrow key at the bottom over here. We will just right click on that. Once we right click on that, we will get a dialog box. This dialog box says the names of all the sheets in our workbook. So, these are all the names of the worksheets available in this workbook. Here we can see sheet 1. Here we can see sheet 2. Here we can see sheet 3. Here we can see Excel Basics sheet. So, names of all these available sheets are shown in this dialog box. So, these are names of the sheets which are present in our workbook. If we want to jump to any worksheet, we have to just double click on that. For example, let's see, if you want to go to sheet 3, we will just double click on that. We double clicked on the sheet 3 from dialog box, and it took us to that particular sheet 3. If we want to come back, we can just click on the desired sheet from below also, or we can open that dialog box again by right click on this place, and we will get the dialog box again. So, these are all the worksheets. We can navigate through the worksheets using these right or left button here. Now, let's come on the right hand side. At the bottom here if we see, there is a scroll bar. This is the screen zoom scroll bar. So if we click on plus sign, we see the size of the cells get increased, and if we click on the minus sign, size of the cell reduces, right? But make sure you know that the tabs and the menu bars don't actually minimize or maximize, it remains the same. We are just seeing a zoomed in or zoomed out view of the cells using this zoom bar. Right on the top of that zoom bar, if we see there is a scroll bar, there are two scroll bars by default given in Microsoft Excel. One is a vertical scroll bar, and the other is horizontal scroll bar. So, if you keep on clicking on this horizontal scroll bar, the screen goes horizontally forward. Similarly, if you want to bring it backward, you have to click on this side of the horizontal scroll bar. Again, if we want the screen to go down, we have to click on this vertical scroll bar. Similarly, if you want to take it upwards, we can use vertical scroll bar itself. Next, if you come over here on the top, these are the buttons which are used to close, minimize, or maximize the Excel file or workbook. After that, if we look over here at this place, this is the name of the file. The name of the file is Excel Basics Video 1, so if we change the name of the file, this name over here also changes. So that's all about the Excel screen. Now, the last one which is given over here, we can see a file button. If we click on this file button, these are different options available. Here we have new, open, save, save as, export, print, share and different other options. In some Microsoft Excel version you do not have this file button, you have something as office button. So once you click on that office button you also get the same options as we can see here. So, hopefully we have understood all the topics here. After that, if you want to enter some data in the worksheet, how do you enter it? For entering anything or typing anything, we just keep the mouse cursor in any cell, click the cell and we just start typing here. Let's say, if we want to type anything here, we just click on the cell to select it and start typing from the keyboard itself. So this way we can edit and enter any data or writing into the cells. Now, suppose that we want to edit the same cell. We have to use the shortcut key F2 from the keyboard. F2 will bring the cursor in the editing mode, and the cursor will blink. Otherwise, if we forget the shortcut, we can just use your mouse and we can just double click over here, and it starts in the editing mode. Now, we also need to know that this entire thing is a workbook. Now what exactly is a workbook? Workbook is a collection of the worksheets. Here we have different worksheets. These are all the worksheets. If we combine all the worksheets at one place, that becomes a workbook. So this Excel file named Excel Basics Video 1 is a workbook, or we can name it as a file which contains all the different sheets itself. After that, if we want to select some ranges, these are different ranges. If we want to select these cells, these are nothing but ranges. If we simply click on some cells with cursor, that is nothing but selecting a cell. If we select more than one cell, that becomes a range again. And at last, if we want to save a workbook, we can save it with different extensions. We will go to the file, and we will click Save As, because we already have saved the file. When we click Save As, it will ask the location where do we want to save. Let's say, we want to save on the desktop. After selecting the location, we will get this kind of dialog box and the location will be given. Now, the second thing is the name of the file. We can change the name of the file by just typing it. Let's name it as Video 2 Excel. So, we have named the file. Now, it will ask you the extension of the file. How do we want to save the file? There are various extensions given for Excel. The previous version was XLS, and the newer version is XLSX. If we want to convert into PDF, here we can see there's a PDF option. And if we want to convert into a macro-enabled workbook, .XLSM, then there is also that option here. So, different types of formats are available which can be used to save the workbook. But, right now we will not go for any format. We will just select this Excel workbook, and since it is already saved, so I do not have to save it again. And finally, you can also just click on Save to save the file. So, these are all the basic options available in Excel. Hopefully we have not missed anything over here. That's all for this video. Thank you.